Hello and welcome to Dysfunctional Dialogue. I am your host, John McParlin, and with me today here are two very special guests. You may know Steve Macaluso from a prior call, but also with me is Chris Petrillo, who we've talked about a little bit in a prior call, and we'll explain that a little bit to Chris in just a moment as well.
Those are some good memories.
Those are some good memories. So, Chris, some of the things that we talked about were, well, Steve brought up, oh, man, and I'm looking forward to you seeing that video, but I'm looking forward to you seeing it. I'm really distracted right now. There's some weird noises as you're moving that thing around.
I'm just trying to.
It's like gastrointestinal noises.
No, I got a typewriter on my table, and I'm just trying to move it so I can get this thing set straight. But because I have the headphone in, it won't stay straight. But I'll figure it out.
I'm liking the old school typewriter setup you got there. Good for you, bud.
Yeah. The government can't track me, and they can't track me. So.
Yes. Yeah. And I'm sure they should be.
I'm not sure why the government will be after you. I'd be real interested to hear that story.
They want my marijuana. They want my weed.
So, all right. So, Chris, when Steve and I were on that call together, and again, I'm looking forward to you seeing that video and the clips. One was the fire in your basement story.
Oh, I don't even remember that, man.
You don't remember that?
You know what?
No.
Don't even say anything to him, Steve.
But you know what I do? You know what I do remember? I remember being that I had something cooking in the oven, and I just totally forgot about it.
Yes, the macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, and it was just burnt beyond. It was burnt beyond recognition.
We left your house, and we were out. We were out for like hours, walking around, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh man, I think I left something cooking in the oven." And by the time we got to your house, it was just like a brick. You actually made mortar that night.
But as Steve told us the other story, you were down in your basement, right?
Yeah.
And
we'll see if I can remember this.
And me and Steve were talking like, "Hey, it's a little chilly down here." One of us said to you, "It's a little cold down here, Chris. Why don't we get a little fire going?" So anybody else would have been like, "No, won't happen." Right? But
you were cold too.
you grabbed like an 8-pack of like Lowenbrau's or something like that, little small bottles of Nips, and you lit it on fire right there in your basement, and the flames just started flying up, shooting up really high.
But it wasn't what the beers are in, the Nips. It was the cardboard box that like a case of Nips come in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a big cardboard box. It wasn't like the little.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it was cool.
And he also reminded me how. Oh wait, the other part of that story was when you went to go put it out. You went upstairs, grabbed some water, like a pot of water, and you dumped it on it. So now you have this like smoldering, just pile of char
sludge,
in the middle of your basement. And a couple of guys came by, a couple of friends came by, and they came down. And Steve, what exactly was the exchange?
They came down into your basement. Right. And they were like, "What the hell is going on down here?" I mean, they saw the mayhem that was going on with the water all over the floor and everything. And you were like, "Yeah, we're having a little party." That was your whole explanation. "Yeah, we're having a little party."
Which is so classic you.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember didn't I have like a little dartboard down there? We used to go down there and play darts.
We did a lot of it.
Yeah. I had something.
Blue stuff up in your refrigerator. You remember putting firecrackers in your refrigerator?
Oh, yeah, that's the best. Oh, yeah.
You still do it?
No, of course. I mean, that's a tradition. That's a tradition. You don't want.
So where are you living now, Chris?
I live in a part of Los Angeles called Monrovia.
Is it on fire?
No. It was scary, man. It was really, really scary.
I can imagine.
We had a bad windstorm for like 2 days, like a derecho, whatever you call it, and it was like 100-mile-an-hour winds. They were saying on the news.
Derecho?
Oh yeah. They were saying in the news, life-threatening winds. Don't go out. And I listened, man. I stayed indoors. I didn't go anywhere. And I just watched. I just watched out my window, man. And you could hear like the paneling come off the apartments. You could hear the shingles come off. That's how intense the winds were.
Wow.
And I came out and I'm looking out the window and everything's on the ground. Like the big bulbs that cover the lights were on the ground. Everything was all over the place. And so I didn't have power for 2 days, and I didn't have internet for 4 days. And when I finally got my internet back, I found out that there were fires. There's like three or four fires burning, and then I get a knock on my door from the apartment complex manager, and they're like, get ready to we might have to evacuate you. And I was like, oh shit, and I'm thinking, well, geez, what am I going to take? I mean, I got all kinds of stuff. What am I going to pedal away with on my bike? What am I going to pedal away with
that's
on my
exactly
bike?
What I was thinking.
You don't have a rig?
What can I fit in a backpack?
Yeah.
And luckily, it never came to that. The closest fire was like 3 to 4 towns over in Altadena, Pasadena, and I'm in Monrovia, and I was safe. Luckily I dodged a bullet there. But
Nice.
yeah, when they knocked on my door and said I might have to evacuate, that was some scary stuff.
Love them and leave them, Chris, his shirt says.
So, Chris, you can't record anywhere? You got no place to record all your song parodies?
I got
You're just going to put
videos.
them out?
Well, no, you can see a couple of my videos on YouTube. They're old. They're like 7, 8 years old. But there's a couple videos. There's like 3 or 4 videos. There's like a worn out sex toy, which I sing to Rhinestone Cowboy. That's up there. And that's under my stage name, Tony Wise Guy. So if you type, and it's 2 words, Tony and then Wiseguy. Wise Guy. And if you type in like a worn out sex toy, you'll see the video. And then there's I'm in love with a model from Victoria's Secret, which I sing to Bruce Springsteen's Queen of the Supermarket. That one's out on YouTube. And then there's Sleep with Lucy Liu, which I sing to Fly Like an Eagle. And shit more. Oh, I hate.
Just promo.
This is the plug section.
I hate Justin Bieber, which I sing to Hooked on a Feeling. That one's out there.
What about?
So how about
on
Facebook?
Wait,
hold on.
What's that?
Hold on. Can you do one right now?
Yeah, sure.
Bang it! Let's go. Just hear it right now. Let's just throw it out there.
Got to get into character.
Oh, that's cool.
I fell on my side when a fight broke out after I tied one on. My whole life flashed before my eyes, a catastrophe. 3 sheets to the wind. All I am is 3 sheets to the wind. I may be wrong, but did I just see a pink elephant following me when they found me nude? I was passed out for the whole world to see. 3 sheets to the wind. All I am is 3 sheets to the wind. Oh no.
So
now pour it on. My liver won't last forever and I'm going to die. It sounds cliche, but I'll raise a toast before I say goodbye. 3 sheets to the wind. All I am is 3 sheets to the wind. 3 sheets to the wind. We are all just 3 sheets to the wind. To the wind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now you have that committed to memory is impressive.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, how much of that is you, though, in your stories? Do you have a story where you actually were naked in the street or something like that and that they woke you up?
No. I'm looking for examples of people who would be 3 sheets to the wind.
Oh, okay.
That's basically, and then I wrote another one called When I Was Drunk, and I sing that to the Eric Burden song, When I Was Young. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right, Chris Petrillo.
So what are you doing? Do you
I'll be signing autographs after the podcast.
What about some of these productions I see you in on Facebook? Some of these movies.
I haven't been doing a lot of that lately.
No.
I really just want to focus on the comedy singing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, ideas just come to me, and I went like 3 sheets to the wind, and I was like, holy shit! No, and I went on the song parody website. Nobody's ever written that, and I was like, oh man, that's like comedy gold.
Yeah.
That's a song parody that will last forever. That'll last it in infamy. And that's like comedy gold. I mean, so I had to write that right away, man. So some ideas, I get them and I store them away, And I think, okay, one day I'm going to write this. Like fingernail biter, fingernail biter. I'm still working on that one. That's still a work in progress.
One fingernail at a time.
What do you do? Open mic nights?
Occasionally, yeah. I don't really enjoy. I don't like living here in LA.
So why do you?
Really?
Yeah, I like the weather. I just don't like the people.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it's nice, but I mean, everything's on fire too. So
I'm not an LA guy. What can I say?
So why don't you move back to New York?
Because I really want to be like in another country. I want to be like in Melbourne or Paris or Dublin or.
Those aren't countries.
Yeah. No, I mean I know.
Details.
Yeah, but
I know what you're talking about.
I'm the one smoking tonight, Steve. Okay.
Yeah,
You're not,
yeah.
So, yeah, because I've been to those places, and when I sang there, they loved me. They loved me.
Oh yeah.
And in Budapest, yeah, when I went to Budapest, man, they really got me, man. And in Paris, they were like, holy shit! I sang at an open mic in Paris, and then I went to another open mic, and the two girls behind the bar who were bartenders, they were talking about me. They were like, hey, did you see that guy with the thing on his head? I had I don't know what you call it, man. It's like a scarf. I had a scarf. It's like a really funky looking scarf, and I put it like a turban on my head, and so people got me there. So that was cool.
Like a turban?
No, it was a scarf, but I put it on my head to look like a turban. I wrapped it around so it looked like a turban. I'll send you a picture.
I don't know. There's some cultural issues with that. I don't know.
I know. People were.
That doesn't fly in L.A.
People looked a little uptight at first, and then they heard me. Then they heard me sing. Then they heard me sing, and they just started laughing. And it was.
They understood. Yeah, they got it. They understood.
They finally. Yeah, they got it. Yeah,
it kicked in. Yep.
It kicked in. Right. It kicked exactly. Hey, have you guys had a Celta on yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just asking.
The three of us, actually, you know what's funny, Chris? The three of us, me, John, and a Celta, we did one of these, but it was a drinking one. We got on there, and all we did was pound drinks. I was drinking beer and bourbon at the same time, and we were getting a little twisted.
It's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah. And at the end, after we, me and John, Steven left. He did like an Irish goodbye. He just shut his computer off. Me and John were talking. I was like, we gotta get Chris in on this. We gotta call Chris Petrillo and get him on this, right? So that night, I texted you. I sent you the messenger on Facebook. I said, hey, Chris, John does this, thing, and would you be interested, right? But I was so drunk, I forgot all about it. And then the next afternoon, I look at my phone. I'm like, who's messaging me? And I looked at it. I'm like, it's from Chris. What a coincidence that is that we were just talking about him. And then I went into it. I was like, oh, no, I texted him last night. That's right.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't drink that much, I only drink when I go out to sing.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm a teetotaler, basically. I'm a teetotaler.
You've always been a teetotaler, actually. Back in the day, tea was his game. Remember, Steve?
Now I have 500 different kinds of tea.
Do you really 500?
Yeah.
In a storage bin somewhere?
And I
he's going to show us his tea. Is that alive?
That's hickory.
Is he alive?
I took him in. That's basically all the Republic of Tea. And then there's all that. Wait. Oh, and then there's that. Wait, and there's another one right there.
Oh, that's all your tea, huh?
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's so well organized, and you can grab whatever tea you want in any given moment because it's itemized and categorized.
There's another bag right there. Yeah, see, it's all peppermint and.
He's just off in his own world right now.
It's all peppermint and.
Okay, it's my closet.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ceiling.
Here's my shirts.
Yep. So you're getting the whole deal today, man. You're getting everything today. I'm bringing it today, man. I'm bringing it today.
I love it.
Yeah.
The close-ups hurt a little bit, though. Yeah, that's the other thing, Chris. So if you have a disaster, The bike is great because all the cars are stuck in traffic and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In and out.
That's what he was saying. When he was going to evacuate, he was going to throw everything in a backpack and get on his bike.
But did you ever see that footage of the cars driving through the fireballs and they come out the other side? You're not going to fare too well on a bicycle.
Well, you got to hook onto the back. Then you just grab the door handle of a car that's going through.
That's a good answer. Do a little skitching.
I'm going to need a head start. There's no way. There's no way you can't outrun a fire on your bike. I mean, maybe a motorcycle, but not on a.
Not particularly if the wind.
You can outrun a motorcycle on your bike.
So, Chris, you've been out there quite a while now. I mean, how many years have you been out there? It's got to be about 20 years or something.
Too long. Since 2009.
All right, so that's a good chunk of time. 15 years.
Yeah.
So, just settle down.
No, I got to tell you a story about it.
Well, no one can hear what you're saying right now because all you're doing is squitching and scratching. This is such a disaster, Steve.
I don't want to stay in the studio.
I wouldn't cut a thing.
Oh, God, I got to cut everything. It's the worst. Chris is pouncing around his apartment, showing us his dirty underwear in a hamper.
And his tea.
It's the least I can do. It's the least I can do. Hey, I got to tell you the story how I got hit when I got hit by a bike.
You got hit by a bike?
I got hit by a car. I'm sorry.
Oh, so you were riding your bike, got hit by a car?
I was riding my bike. Yeah, I was riding my bike and I got hit. I was riding down in downtown LA, and this was like I don't know.
Did you just get hit by a bike again?
Again.
A bike.
I'm not going to tell you, but I'm going to show you.
All right, show and tell with Chris.
What do you guys want to see next? Never mind. Never mind. So I was riding downtown on my bike, and I was trying to get somewhere. I was never going to get there. I might as well have just turned around and gone home. I was never going to get to where I needed to go. And I tried to cross 4 lanes of traffic, like a busy 4 lanes of traffic, and there were cars coming at me, and I realized I wasn't going to make it. So I made a decision, and I said, am I going to get hit by the side or am I going to get hit by the back? And so I straightened the bike out, and I made sure that I got hit by the back, because if I had gotten hit by the side, I probably wouldn't have made it. But
right.
I got hit by the back, and I closed my eyes because I didn't want to know what was going to happen to me. And I swear, I went flying through the air like a football. I had forward momentum. I was gaining altitude and just like a football, and just coming and then going down, and then and all of a sudden I hit, and I had a backpack. I was lucky at the time. I had a backpack with a comforter in it. And,
with a what?
A comforter. I had a backpack with a comforter in it, and I hit the ground, and I guess the backpack with the comforter cushioned the fall, and I messed up one of my legs and I skidded forward.
Wow!
But I didn't mess the leg up too bad. I actually wound up walking away. I wound up walking away from the accident. I skidded forward, and
so that's incredible.
I messed my leg up pretty bad. I was hobbling around for 4 or 5 months, but I mean, I'm okay now. But yeah, it was scary. Geez,
you were several feet off the ground.
I closed my eyes. I didn't want to know.
How far were you in the air for? How many feet? No,
I can't tell you because I had my eyes closed the whole time.
Well, from the point where your bicycle was to where you landed.
Oh, it seemed like, I'm going to say 25, 30 seconds.
No,
I meant feet.
Oh, I don't know, John, because once I got hit, I closed my eyes. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know.
Yeah, but eventually you opened your eyes again. I
didn't want to know. I opened my eyes when I hit the ground. When I hit the ground,
right.
I skidded forward. And
when you hit the ground,
I'm alive. And I opened my eyes and I was like, holy shit, I'm alive.
But how far
at that point
were you when you hit the ground? Like when the car hit you, how far did you get thrown?
I got thrown. I don't remember because I didn't even.
20 feet?
I was hurt. No, I was hurt.
He was
I was hurt. I was hurt, and I wasn't looking back to think, okay, where did I get hit from, and where did I land?
Where's my measuring tape?
Your tape measure.
I wasn't thinking to bring out.
Should have dropped it as soon as you went.
I was hobbling, man. I was hobbling around.
John's gonna be asking me this.
Yeah. So,
all right.
but,
So,
I mean,
that's terrible, right? But how fortuitous that you had a backpack on to begin with, and then you had a comforter inside there. It's like you're like, was that all planned? Do you like always ride around just for this very kind of occasion?
I bet anyone who saw that probably thought it was a stunt. They probably just thought to themselves, "Oh, that's got to be a stunt," because that's what I would have thought if I had seen something like that.
I would love to have footage of that
for a movie. That's going to be, I'm lucky to be alive, man. I mean, I don't know how many lives I have, but well, I've used up quite a few of them. I almost drowned a few times. I almost got hit by a car when I was like, I ran out into the street to get something, and I think the car came like, that close to nailing me, and so I've got, I've used up, I almost drowned in the ocean a couple times. I was saved, and but.
Should learn how to swim.
Or stay away from the ocean.
I swim in the pool. I don't swim in the ocean anymore. I don't like sharks. I'm not a fan of sharks.
Or drowning.
Or drowning. No. Yeah. I hate drowning. Yeah. So
yes, I do. That's
How about you?
No, that's the song parody I wrote to I Like Dreaming, Kenny Nolan. I like dreaming. I hate drowning.
So the other story that was told, Chris, about you, and I'm sure you're okay with all of this because you've done nothing else in your life than to show you're okay with these kind of stories.
Yeah.
Was the one where you would always drive, like you would go over to George Washington Bridge, and you drive all the way into the city.
Oh, the night I got busted for weed, right? Is that the story? Oh. So go ahead. What's the story you were going to tell me about? Go ahead. Let's hear this.
It was the one where you your bicycle was stolen, and you went up to the cops and asked them,
right. Yes. It was Thanksgiving. And
was it?
It was Thanksgiving that day. I don't remember what year. I think it was 90, 98, 97, 96. It was one of those years. And I rode into the city. I wanted to go. There was like a Tower Records or something. I went into some music store, and I said to the security guy who was checking the cars, and I was like, "Hey, watch my bike. I got it locked up. It wasn't a good lock. It was one of those cheesy locks that you can cut right through." But I said to the guy, "Hey, watch my bike. I'm only going to be, whatever, how long." And so I come back out, and my bike's gone. And I'm like, I said to the guy, what did you do, man? What happened? And he was like, "Oh, I don't know." And I was like. And so I'm upset, and I'm walking around, and I see a cop car, and I walk up to him and I say, "Hey, where do they sell stolen bikes around here?" And the cop was like, "Okay, well you go up this way, and then you go this way," and he's telling me how to the area. And so I'm walking along, and all of a sudden I see some guy with my bike. And he crosses the street, and I'm like, "Oh, holy shit!" But I'm not close to him. But I don't want him to see me running, because then he's gonna know it's my bike. So I'm waiting for him to turn the corner, so then I can really like. And then I turn the corner, and he's trying to sell my bike to somebody. And I was like, "Motherfucker!" I kind of went off on him, and I got my bike back. But I said, "Yeah, I made my bike." And I got my bike back. So yeah, a World Book record kind of story, like a Hall of Fame kind of story.
You're killing me.
No, it's the truth, man. It's the truth.
I want a whole uncut version. Before you edit anything, I want this whole thing.
What are the chances of that?
All we hear is you're telling us something. We hear.
Okay, do you hear anything now?
Oh man. So all good. But the fact that you asked a cop, where do you keep the stolen bikes? You gotta stop, Chris. What's going on with that? Was the wire really short to your phone?
Yeah, there's no way to hold it. That's all right. I'll just hold it with my hand. Don't worry.
No, don't do that. No, it's better if it's stationary.
All right.
Gotta chain you to the desk or something.
So I remember.
What?
I remember being at Chris's house one night. We were going to go into Patterson to get some beers, and you were going to take your mother's car. And what was it? Was Carl? Was that his name?
Yeah, my stepdad. Yeah.
He was stopping you. He said, "You're not taking your mother's car." and you were like fighting with him, and he tried to open the hood, and he was fucking around in the hood.
Yeah.
And you started the car and boogied, and we went to Patterson to get beers. And when we came out of the liquor store, the car wouldn't start because he had got in there and loosened the cables, and we were there for a good while before we just kind of like fucked around, and I think he like yanked one spark plug wire just enough, and we got stuck there.
I forgot all about that. Yeah,
I don't even
remember. At the bottom
I don't
the hill.
even remember it, man. Geez, how terrible is that? I don't even remember.
Well, you were pretty stoned, Chris.
No, I still am.
And you still are. Well, you actually should remember because you're in the same state of mind that you were then and have always been since.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, have any interesting things happened on a Hollywood movie set? Or auditions, for that matter? You must have done some creative shit with auditions, knowing you.
Okay, I did one of the things I did last year. I did a commercial for a barber shop. We had to agree to get a haircut, and they were like doing designs and stuff. And then we went outside, and they had us had like all wacky things wrong with our heads, because it was a commercial for a haircut. We all had like.
I actually saw that picture. Macaluso sent it to me. You had like one bald square right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Did I? Oh, gee, I don't even remember that. But okay. And there were three of us, and we were doing all these crazy things. It was for some kind of video, and we were just like improvising it. And I remember I stood up on this pedal, like where a statue would be. I climbed up and I stood, and I was like on the pedal, them all, whatever. Yeah. And so.
You were acting cool. All whatever? No.
I was
getting away with that.
No,
show me what you were doing. Come on. If you got to put your headphones down for a second.
I don't even remember. I don't remember, man. I don't remember. Honestly, we were just
because
goofy.
Look, improvising. I'm surprised that you don't have something like that story-wise. I'm actually a little shocked by that.
Well,
that's it. Nothing. So you played it straight the whole time. Huh? You were being a professional.
Yeah, you have to be, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's Chris, right? So I figured.
I think
that's a compliment, by the way.
I think I showed up stoned on set a few times, but
did you really? Oh my God, I can't.
I'm sure you're not the only one.
No, but I mean, I had showered like before I smoked, so I was okay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I showered. I was stoned, but I was. You couldn't smell it. So,
okay.
You could just see my eyes. My eyes were just glazed over. That's all.
Because showering beforehand doesn't really help. I know. He did say that, right?
Yes.
That's okay. I showered beforehand, so it was okay. Wait, what? He was stoned after all, so what does he know? Right?
Exactly. He probably did shower beforehand.
I got this covered. No, it'll smell a thing.
What do you guys want to see next?